about to leave. Already packing, come with me. I'm not really.
Hello friends and enemies, welcome back to Happy For Now. It's me, Isabel, here with our Romancelandia Monthly for May. It was kind of a quiet month. I'm not gonna deny this, okay? Like, I'm a little bit happy about it, but we did have two big events, and then I've got a whole bunch of fun things to share with you. As always, I will have timestamps in that description box for you if you want to jump ahead to any particular part, or if you missed something, etc. Yeah, so let's dive right into it. And this is the big topic in which I actually tweeted about this and said, like, we're gonna have a conversation about it in Romancelandia Monthly. And that is because this man decided to quote tweet Tessa Dare and explain to us why romance is not good, why romance is bad, formulaic. How dare romance exist? Tessa tweeted that romance is ridiculed because of misogyny, friends. The only reason it's not any more unrealistic or variable in quality than other genres, blah blah blah. This guy decided to retweet her and say that this is inaccurate. They're ridiculed for being bad books drafted for desperate and lonely people that rarely portray any level of accuracy towards romance. Also, they tend to be full of smut, which is your point. I like it. You don't have to, but I don't go into the sci-fi space and yell that this book is too full of aliens. Y'all, maybe that's what we need to do. Anyways, he decided to engage in some foolery in the Romancelandia community because apparently there are still people who don't know not to come for romance because we write it on every time. It is just nonstop. But the big thing with this conversation is it brought about a lot of tweets talking about misogyny and romance, which is a very key point. I'm not going to deny that. Like, misogyny and romance is very much like hand in hand into why people don't like romance, why they make judgments against it. You know, a format that tends to be, to an extent, romance is not forgiven of this. I'm not saying every single romance is a feminist, but a genre that is ridiculed in this fashion because romance is seen as a womanly thing, just like how Twilight and any other show or thing that is viewed as for girls, like teen girls, is ridiculed, right? It's all misogyny. Like, it all comes back to misogyny. But to be a forward-thinking feminist, we also need to think about how we discuss these issues in romance, which is what I want to talk about. So I saw a lot of tweets about romance is for women, by women. I see this all the time. I've talked about this some on my channel. The way in which you word these things is important because you're excluding a demographic of people who do read romance and are not women. They may be non-binary, they may be male, they could be anything, whatever they are. Like, it doesn't matter. They're a person who enjoys romance. Romance is for everyone. Romance should not be exclusionary because of gender, and we need to be careful how we talk about this because, again, we as a community should be welcoming everyone in to experience the joy and the love that we have for this genre because it brings us so much joy. And I think it's just a really weird thing to sit here and be like, let's only say it's for women and let's exclude our authors that we read who are men, who are non-binary, are trans, whatever, from the discussion, because romance at the end of the day is a genre about happily ever afters and happy for nows and people finding love. And we as readers should want to read about everyone finding love, in my opinion. If you don't agree with that, that's fine, but like, we're never gonna align on this. This is a very firm point for me, is that as romance readers, we should want to read about everyone finding love. And it should extend past the bounds of anything beyond what looks like you or reflects your life. Because we love love. Like, that's the point of romance. So Kat Sebastian also tweeted, and she kind of talked about this as well, that we need to like think about how we're talking about it. Kind of like, is the for women, by women thing also made to alienate the non-white women who read romance? I kind of think it is, to an extent. And the non, like, heteronormative vision of romance to some people, and I do think that phrasing exists for that very specific reason. So I just want to encourage everyone to reframe how you talk about this genre and who reads this genre. I personally know 3 men who read romance, and I know plenty of non-binary people that do as well, and other people, like it's not just women in our space. We have fellow creators who are men that read romance, and there's nothing wrong with that. And the way we talk about it, we're excluding our friends at the end of the day if you are in any way friendly with these people who aren't female presenting, identifying, whatever you want to call it, romance readers. And that's, I mean, to me, that's important. I want a romance community that is welcoming to everyone and anyone that wants to read the genre and wants to explore love at the end of the day. So I just want to talk about that. Yeah, and we just continue to see people who literally can't help themselves from like having all of Romancelandia pile on. Just, they just can't stop. Then the other thing, I also tweeted about this. A lot of people were confused. So last year there was a readathon called the Romanceathon with Gabby Reads and formerly Weeby Bookin, who is now Jackie, or Jacqueline. Her channel is now Jacqueline. So I just wanted to talk about it because I did subtweet it, so I was like, I guess I should share. Some of y'all may not have been around last year when this happened, and that's okay. And this is not like an attack on this creator or anything like that. I'm just telling you what happened last year. I don't have like proof. I have her apology post, which I'll throw up right here. That's all I got. I don't have the video. I didn't save it then. You know, it's one of those. So this creator, Jacqueline, during the Black Lives Matter protests last summer, she compared her infertility to the murder of George Floyd and handled it really, really poorly. It was embarrassing, to say the least, to witness. But I also want to say that this situation is not our place, if we are not Black, to accept apologies for or anything along those lines, okay? Like, we cannot, it's just not for us. Like, it's not our place, so don't do that. And I'm not saying like don't do the readathon if you want to do it. I'm just letting y'all know who maybe weren't around last year what happened. So yeah, this all happened during, like, the protests and everything happened during Romanceathon, and she made this comparison. She did apologize twice, says she's the usual listening and learning. And then I was just really surprised when I saw a bunch of creators I really, really like, and I'm really happy to see getting asked to participate in something like Romanceathon, get asked to co-host it with her. And, you know, I hope she has learned. I don't know. I unsubscribed and never looked back because that's what I do when people do dumb things. I don't continue my support. So because of that, I know that, again, a lot of these are newer creators who I really, really like and see participating in this readathon, and I don't know if everybody's aware or not. So I just, quick little gloss over refresher of what happened last year with her, and she did lose a ton of subscribers, all that fun stuff, but it was an interesting time, to say the least, because I think a lot of people showed their ass in a way that not everyone expected or saw coming. I mean, some of us probably saw it coming, but I'm just saying quite a few people also probably did not. So that happened. I just wanted to give y'all, like I said, a little refresher of the events from last summer. And this was before I was like heavily covering other creators' mishaps and figuring out how I wanted to navigate that on the Romancelandia Monthly section. Little refresher, again, this is not me hating on her, hating on anyone who's hosting with her or participating. I'm just letting you know what happened. All right, are y'all ready for some fun stuff? Because I sure am. First of all, I wanted to talk about just like some fun things I saw this month across my Twitter feed and in general. First of all, Rom Book Love happened. You can search hashtag Rom Book Love. I'll put it up right here on Twitter, but here are all the prompts. And I cannot recommend this enough if you are looking for recs. Listen, Rom Book Love every year for me is like a gold mine of recommendations, and I love it so much because they do such very specific tropes, and then like a lot of people on Twitter join in and share their favorites. So if you search the hashtag and then like day whatever, you should find tons of recs for whatever category you are interested in, and it's great. I love it. I love it so much. So yeah, I wanted to make sure y'all were aware of this. This is definitely somewhere that I get a lot of recommendations from throughout the year, and it's such a great resource. Then Linnell over at Weekend Reader also launched her happy hours. I was just recently on one, and I think we might do it again because she unfortunately was unable to save it due to some issues, but every Friday, Thursday, Friday, I'm not sure. Anyways, dates are here. Dates are here. She is having different people on Instagram Live to just chat about books, things, do all the stuff. And I really, really like these. They're really fun to watch. They're really fun to be a participant of. They're just a good time. I recommend you check them out. Then I wanted to share 2 book covers that came out this month that you may have seen, you may not have, and they're stunning. So first of all, of course, we have Kennedy Ryan's cover for Real, which when I saw the behind the scenes, I was like, oh, this is gonna be good. And then the full cover came out and I was like, oh, this is extra good. And I'm very, very excited to read this book at some point this year. We'll see how long it takes me, but I know I will get there. And then also Jane Agaro's cover for The Sweetest Remedy is out, and I really love these illustrated covers they're doing for her books. I know I skipped to the first book because the tropes in it aren't for me, but I am definitely going to pick up book 2 that she has coming out, and these covers are just stunning. Again, if we've got to deal with illustrated covers, this is like what I want, versus the like, I don't know, like no facial features, weird cartoon figures. But yeah, so that's it for the fun stuff this month as well. It's a quick Romancelandia Monthly, which is kind of nice for a change. So I hope you enjoyed. If you made it this far, drop a skull emoji in the comment box for me, and I will talk to y'all in just a few days in my next video. Thanks so much for hanging out with me. Links to everything I talked about are in that description box as well, and I will see y'all soon. Bye.
Come with me. I'm not really asking. We'll get away to a place where we don't